This is crazy. I'm specifically impressed how many people managed to like reverse engineer the costume.
Hey guys, what's up? We're back with another video. Right after its recent premiere, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings broke several box office records, grossing over $157 million worldwide. The film is bold, original, wildly exhilarating, bringing new life into the MCU. Let's take a look at why Disney's Shang-Chi is Marvel's most visually stunning film yet. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of the new videos we post. Let's get started. A fresh addition.
A guy with a freaking machete for an arm just chopped our bus in half.
DJ Snake.
Shang-Chi is the sixth title to arrive in the Marvel's Phase 4 and the 25th feature film in the MCU canon. But it's also the first of this phase to introduce a fresh storyline, as well as a non-white lead representing the strong Marvel brand. Simu Liu stars as the hero and martial arts master Shang-Chi, a Chinese-American immigrant who's forced to confront his past when his father attempts to draw him back into his infamous organization, the Ten Rings. What comes next is a visually stunning and unforgettable adventure that fits perfectly within the MCU franchise. That said, Shang-Chi sets itself apart from the MCU brand in a number of ways. Besides introducing an Asian-centric cast and an Asian-American writer, the action film also focuses on family and tradition, which makes it unlike any other Marvel offering so far. Besides Liu, the movie also stars Awkwafina, Fa La Chen, Meng Er Zhang, and the award-winning international star Tony Leung, who plays the villain and the leader of the Ten Rings organization, Wen Wu. The character is so much more complex and layered than a typical antagonist, something we haven't seen in the MCU franchise enough. The beginning of a new era.
Almost the entirety of my 20 years at Marvel, this has been on a list of movies we dream of making. Everybody should be able to look up at that big screen.
The movie also brings a brand new superhero and introduces MCU fans to a world that'll be vital for the franchise in the upcoming years. Moving the superhero saga forward with such excellence isn't easy, but Shang-Chi doesn't disappoint, proving that the refreshing addition to the MCU was much needed. The lead star of the film, Simu Liu, delivers exceptional performance, living up to the legacy of MCU's established superheroes. He anchors the movie with charisma, charm, and an impressive physical presence. In fact, Liu delivers stunts more flawlessly than any other MCU actor before him, not to mention the rest of the cast that definitely did justice to the well-developed characters. Box office records and critical reception.
He is the mightiest hand-to-hand fighter. That is kind of what the comics say.
Literally what he's
I didn't make the rules.
Despite its ordinary-looking trailers, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings crossed $100 million at the box office in just 5 days, becoming the fastest film in the pandemic to achieve this record. But besides its reception at the box office, the adventure-filled movie also received tons of praise from critics and audiences alike. It received a rare 92% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, where the critical consensus reads, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings isn't entirely free of Marvel's familiar formula, but this exciting origin story expands the MCU in more ways than one. Variety called the film a flashy Asian-led visual effects extravaganza that gives the second-tier Shang-Chi the same over-the-top treatment that big-timers like Hulk and Thor typically get. The result broadens the Marvel Studios spectrum of representation once again, offering audiences of Asian descent the kind of empowerment for which Black Panther paved the way a few years back. The British magazine Empire reviewed the film and wrote, said the film was a winning blend of Chinese culture mixed with the successful Marvel formula that avoids the typical Asian cliches and stereotypes of accents and bad drivers, while pointedly calling out some of the racial errors from Marvel's past. Given what's on the show here, the future for Shang-Chi and Asian representation in the MCU looks bright. Other critics also pointed out that Shang-Chi was not an experiment for Marvel and Disney, but rather a promising template for how they can get it right again. Visuals and action sequences. Now coming towards the visual effects of the film. For a massive majority of viewers, Shang-Chi is the MCU's most stunning movie yet, featuring their best ever fight scenes. From the compelling music to the combat style and fight cinematography, everything worked exceptionally well to create an unforgettable fantasy feel. There's no shortage of impressive fight scenes in the film, and they're all super fun to watch, but have their own distinct flavor at the same time. you'll also get to see visually stunning locations and amazingly choreographed fight sequences that quite literally look and feel like mesmerizing dance scenes, which are often only seen in classic martial arts films. In fact, the scenes from Shang-Chi are arguably the best action sequences in any MCU movie so far, with only the Thanos battle in Infinity War and Endgame coming to a close second. But it's not only just the stunt choreography and visuals that set the film apart, from the intense battles to the cinematography to the landscapes and production designs, not to mention the impactful conversations about life, death, and everything in between. Shang-Chi is Marvel's most poetic movie yet. With a heartfelt storyline, exceptional action sequences, and an amazing exploration of Asian culture, Disney's Shang-Chi deserves to be a billion-dollar box office smash! And that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching.